we'll do a follow-up on the GravGrip hydraulic camera stabilizer. Today on My Favorite Things. In our first video, we noted that the cameras attached to the GravGrip, when put in a scenario where you're walking, maybe through a crowd or around town for in real life kind of streaming, the footage was incredibly bouncy if the camera didn't have image stabilization. Now, we looked at this footage from the front-facing iPhone camera and from the rear-facing iPhone camera on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. The front-facing camera does not have image stabilization, but the rear-facing camera does, and that footage was much smoother, much more usable. Now, to their credit, they state in the production materials that this isn't a gimbal. It's a stabilizer and should be viewed as such. It's not electronic, it's hydraulic. So to expect the 3-axis electronic stabilization that you're going to get from a gimbal out of this hydraulic camera stabilizer is really an over-expectation. Today, we're going to see if we can get a use scenario out of it like what they promoted it for. In all of their promotional videos, they showed linear motion, action sports kind of stuff. Oftentimes it was on a skateboard or maybe even a bicycle. I've seen some YouTubers take and put this on a monopod and attach an action cam and take a bicycle ride through town. And for that case, it seemed to work really well. There was one guy who even rode his bike in the snow and wiped out. And I think maybe that's one of the pluses of having a tool that isn't electronic. Now, this, when it hits the snow, when you wipe out and it's into the mud, you can clean it up and keep going. You don't have to worry about electronics breaking. If this camera is in a protective case and this even goes into the water, you've not lost anything. You just put everything back together and continue your filming. So today we're going to take this on a bicycle ride. I'll also try to do some footage with it out the window of my pickup, kind of catch a low view from there by the tire or the bumper, like oftentimes you see off-roaders do, and maybe in the Jeep or the rock crawling world. It was a cold day, and I had to get the old tires aired up before I could go. But it didn't take long, and then I was on my way. It looks like my poor snowman is trying to do the limbo. The action cam I'm using for this shot is made by DB Power. I've had it for a couple of years and it does a pretty good job. You can tell the image stabilization in this little camera is taking some of the finer bumps out. Some of the bigger bumps are still coming through. But once I'm in motion, moving from low to high, you can see that it's doing a fairly decent job. Driving back up the driveway, you can see that it is very smooth with this tire and bumper shot. folks who are using this in a linear motion fashion for recording may be onto something. So after seeing that footage, you can tell that when this system is moving forward, it's a whole lot smoother. Now, the action cam that I used today does have electronic image stabilization built in, and the walking motion down that sidewalk was a lot smoother. The footage that you see on the bicycle is incredibly useful. The GravGrip may find its niche in the action sports kind of arena where there is always forward motion and the natural motion kind of smooths out some of the bumps anyway. So to not be electronic, to not have a lot of moving parts that could break whenever you take a spill, this could be an incredibly useful tool for a lot of folks who are into that kind of videoing. Is it right for you? Well, you'll have to decide. But I tell you what is right for you. Check out one of these videos.